Today, I'm coming here to give some immigration updates, and most importantly, I'm going to talk about the new bill which has been introduced in the House of Representatives, the bill called the Dignity Act. Remember, we have been talking about the pathway to citizenship and the Democratic Party's plan to give undocumented immigrants a way to get permanent residence and later on to become US citizens. So today, there is something new. It's called the Dignity Act. But the question is, what is this Dignity Act? Who has introduced this Dignity Act? How does this Dignity Act is different from other bills which have been introduced in the Congress? And the bigger question is, what is the likelihood of this bill to be able to pass, and why the other through reconciliation have failed? Because here we are talking about, when we say these major legislations in immigration, obviously must have the bipartisan support. So the question is, will this new bill be able to get the support of both the Democrats and the Republicans in the Congress? Because the previous bill didn't get that support. So it was the typical Democrats, and most importantly, it was going through reconciliation process, which caused a lot of trouble. This bill has been introduced by a Republican compared to the previous bill. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to detail every single important part of the Dignity Act. And within the Dignity Act, there is another program, is called Redemption Program. So follow me and watch what I'm explaining right now, so that we can be able to be on the same page to explain the likelihood of this bill to be able to pass. This on the screen is a Congresswoman Maria Salazar, who has introduced the Dignity Act on February 8, 2022. She is a representative from Florida, 27th District of Florida. She is Republican. So the number one thing which makes the difference between this bill and all other previous Democratic bills, first of all, this one is introduced by a Republican. That's number one. She planned to introduce this bill beginning of, it was March 2021. And I'm going to share with you, this was March 17, 2021, when there was Maria Salazar and other congressional Republicans. So they wanted to offer the solution for our broken immigration systems and the crisis of the southern border. So she was not alone to come with the Dignity Act. So this was 2021, but it didn't go through this one at the beginning because Democrats wanted to do the biggest thing ever, splash and eradicate almost everything, which it didn't want to go through bipartisan, so it failed. So now this is the official introduction of this Dignity Act. So who introduced the bill is a Republican Congresswoman in collaboration with the support of other congressional Republicans. So no matter what, there will be Republicans who are going to support this one. So this is the time they say, while Democrats have proposed divisive and unworkable legislation, so that is why they say they want to completely fix this immigration. We'll see what they're going to do. What are the things they are going to do that one? So I'm going to read it quickly so that you can be on the same page. It says, the Congresswoman Maria Salazar from Florida District 27th and the group of her Republican House colleagues introduced the long-awaited Dignity Act, a complete immigration reform bill consisting of 3 core principles, which are stopping illegal immigration, providing dignified solution for immigrants living in America, and strengthening the American workforce and economy. So, with these 3 core areas, this is the first part. You will see the difference between this bill and democratic bills. The democratic bills on immigration didn't try to stop immigration, rather to encourage people to do illegal immigration by opening the southern border or opening the border if you come here, whatever. So they are not stopping the illegal immigration. But for those people who are already in America, Democratic had a solution for the people who are living in America, so which is the core for that particular case. So the biggest difference between this one and the previous bills, these bills is also taking some of the things of Democrats, but is adding the other Republican principles or Republican priorities in immigration, which are stopping people to come in the United States illegally while giving the pathways to citizenship for all 11 million people who are already in the United States. And also, again, those who are in America to have the opportunity to become the workforce and build the economy. So, the original co-sponsors, so these are people who are co-sponsors of this bill. There are other people who are supportive of that bill already. So, I'm going to put this link on the description of this video, and I'm going to tag the comment so you can read it on your own. I don't want to go all of it, but I will go and share some few important things. So these are the few things which are going to be able to do. So if you read all these kind of things, they are coming on the what are the things which are on this bill. There are few things. Number one is to stop illegal immigration. As they've said here, 3 principles. Number one is stopping illegal immigration. How do they stop illegal immigration? This is what they are going to do. And how do they give the what they say to provide a dignified solution for immigrants who are already in America, like DACA, and how do they strengthen the American workforce and the economy? These are the things they're going to do. So the key provisions are the following. Number one is border security and enforcement. And number two, addressing the people who are living in America, immigrants who live in America. And number three, the American workforce and economy. Democrats, they focused more on just addressing the immigrants who are living in America without other factors and a little bit of economy. But let's go through this one and see if they will be able to get the bipartisan support. How do they strengthen the border security and the enforcement? So, number one, authorizes funding to fully secure American border at no cost to American taxpayers. So the government, the federal government, without adding taxes, should secure the border. Obviously, by securing the border, they have to finish the 800-mile, whatever, the mile left under the Trump border, which Trump built. They have to complete that one. That's what they mean. And without that border, they say you have to implement the best border technology available, including radar, cameras, infrared, whatever, secure communications, all those kind of detection technology. They have to do that one. Then they have to restart all currently paused border infrastructure contracts and increase the funding. So the physical border infrastructure, that means they have to finish the border built by Donald Trump while he was a president. Then you have to hire extra 3,000 border security personnel, Department of Homeland Security border officers, and prioritizing hiring of military families and law enforcement agents. Then you have to create the task force to detect and destroy cartel smuggling tunnels along the southern border. The number of drugs now have been able to increase. You have to mandate 100% nationwide e-verify. For those who do not know, e-verify is something you are using when you hire people in America. So you have to have e-verify for 100% nationwide to ensure all American business are hiring legal workers. They are saying legal workers because if you are legal, you're not supposed to work. They are going to give you a legal status. For those who are here illegally, they'll get legal status. So to encourage workforce, they will talk about that one. Then, because this one, if you do this way, you discourage people to come in one or another illegally. Increase criminal penalties for illegal border crossing and immediately deports all illegal immigrants who commit crimes. Then expand U.S. authorities after transactions of blah, 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 blah. So then establish 4 regional processing, whatever. Then enacts last in, first out judicial policy to cut down a multi-year backlog of immigration courts. On immigration courts, they have to find a way to reduce the backlog. To reduce the backlog, they say you have to hire new personnel for immigration courts, 1,800 through the asylum. So people, you are not supposed to wait for asylum for 10 years, whatever, you're just waiting. They needed to have more people hired in that way. Then comes irregular immigration from Central America, you address that one. So that is just for the border part. Let's go to addressing now the bigger part is immigrants who are already in America. How do they go about it? Number one, to create immediate legal status and streamline the pathway for dreamers. Then they have what you call the Dignity Program. This is what I mentioned on my introduction, that within Dignity Act, there is a program. So this program, number one, is 10 years program. Through this Dignity Program, undocumented immigrants will be provided a chance to work, any legal status, pay restitution. I will come to talk about how much do you pay. Pay restitution, get right with the law. That's number one. Then you must comply to all federal and state laws, pass a criminal background check, work or serve as a family caregiver, and pay taxes. Then you must contribute to the American Worker Fund to begin the program. So this one, you'll be able to participate. You'll be paying the maximum of $10,000 US dollar in 10 years, meaning you'll be paying $1,000 US dollar per year. So that is how it is. You must check. Then you must be able to check with the Department of Homeland Security every 2 years, and you must be in a good standing. Then individuals in the Dignity Program, that 10 years program, will not have access to federal means-tested benefits or entitlements. So while you are in that program, you will not receive the food stamp. You are not going to be in that kind of opportunities. There will be net contributors to tax revenue and U.S. economy. They are not going to benefit from the means-tested benefits like food stamp. So then there is the redemption program, which is 5 years program. So this one, they say, is an optional program. So, and individuals must complete, first of all, you must complete the 10 years program to start the redemption program. So this is after 10 years, you have 5 years redemption program. It will offer a chance redemption and any more permanent legal status. That one you will get 10 years program. This one is to get a full permanent resident status. The 5-year redemption program requires participants to learn English and US civics, and it provides the opportunity for those seeking permanent legal status to contribute to their local community, either through local volunteers, national community service, increase the contribution into American Worker Fund. So this one, again, it opens up to the eligibility to citizenship. So you get permanent resident and you can become a US citizen. And then there is enforcement through the functional mandatory e-verify, and the certification for the full secure border will be complete before the Redemption Act can begin. So that is how they do that one. And then there is this one, the last part is American workforce and economy. So number one is create American Workforce Fund, American Worker Fund. So this one is the money you pay, restitution money, through the dignity program, whatever. So it doesn't take the taxpayers' fund. So taxpayers will not pay anything on this one. This program provides grants to American citizens for workforce education initiative, apprenticeship, career, and technical whatever. So this fund will be used for whether you yourself become American, but for American, for other starting new careers. So for every 10,000 paid by one immigrant through the dignity program, it can be able to help 2 Americans workers. So you pay that one, but it will help to start a new career for Americans. It will help American people who are Americans. Then implements the market-based solution for our labor strategies, blah, 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 blah. So these are some of the, I don't want to go all of these one, but these are some of the everything you want to do about that one. So if you want to know about the background of the Dignity Act, if you want to read the full bill, is here. So everything is here. So this is the Dignity Act, the summary of it. The entire summary what I've said is this one. The Dignity Act, in a summary, this is what it's doing. Provides reasonable, compassionate, complete solution to America's immigration crisis. It ends illegal immigration. Establish law and order, provides practical solution. If you read it, this is what they say to end illegal immigration. What they do, the dignity and redemption, that is what they say. And American economy, that is what is all about. There is no taxpayers funding will be able to to be paid by restitution payments. So that is the just summary. But if you want to get also the deeper summary, the background of it, this is the background, all of it. But the full bill is here. I can post the link of the full bill, which has been put into the Congress, the draft of the bill. This is the full bill, what is all about. It is 484 pages of the bill, what everything you needed to know in that particular sense. So what is the chance of this bill to pass? A lot. Number one, this bill has been, they have a lot of Republicans are supporting it. Unfortunately, Democrats, they don't want this bill. Some of them, majority of the Democrats, according to the news I've read, because they say, oh, Republicans, they want to do this one because of November election. But this is something they wanted to do since March 2021. But Democrats, they are so only want to pass on our own, we get the credit. But now there are already so many Republicans, they support this one. So if Democrats, they are okay, they support this one, it will give much credit, because in the end, 11 million will be able to get this one. It is by bipartisan support. The Republican will get the complete of the border, finish the border, put the law and order at the border, and 11 million immigrants are going to benefit. So that's number one. So number one is because most of these are what Republicans want more, to end illegal immigration. This is what Democratic want more, is just to provide a pathway to all, provide legal solution to all undocumented immigrants. So let's wait and see. But the higher chance of passing, for me, I see this one has higher chances because it has involved both what Democrats want and what Republicans want. And it is a win-win solution. Yes, not all Republicans will accept so many things like giving permanent residence, but because they're going to have assurance of completing the border and doing this one, I believe this one will be a better solution. So I'll keep giving you updates, but I'm going also to share the link where you'll be able, the link of, you can be able to go and read. If you put dignified Maria Salazar, you'll be able to see all these kind of things are going to help in one way or another. So on that link, you'll be able to get everything. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. This is EBM Ernest Boniface Makulilo.